Welcome back to the Cozy Rosy Crochet channel. I'm excited to have you with me today because I've just been rudely interrupted by the delivery man having my first ever Temu Order delivery. So what I thought I'd do today is share with you what I ordered, why I ordered, and some of my top tips for getting the most out of these discount ordering sites, because we're always worried that we're going to be tricked into buying something that is not usable, that's not going to be suitable for what we want, and I want to give you the confidence to buy with confidence. As I mentioned, I was really interrupted getting ready for a workshop that I'm hosting tomorrow. I've just picked up my delivery of my printing of my little booklet. I'm really excited. I feel like I'm going a bit pro with these. And it is the Making the Most of the Granny Squares workshop. I'm hosting it tomorrow at the Summer Wool Festival being held in Ampthill in the UK, and I'm extremely excited to get back out there offering workshops in person for myself once again. So July's been quite a busy month for Cozy Rosy Crochet. We've had the Cotton Grass Sparset Crochet Along, we've had the beautiful Enchanted Arches cushion that launched last week, and today we have had one of my favourite patterns of the year, which is the Isla multi-way top. There is a video coming for this top. It's just been a little bit delayed as I get ready for this workshop. Now, before we get into the package, let me share with you why I placed an order. Like many of you, I've been seeing lots of sponsored reels, Facebook stories of people opening these orders, sharing what they're finding and how they're making these things useful in their home. I can only look at these kind of things from a crafting element. I'm not a great one for buying knickknacks and other things for my home, but boy, will I spend money on my craft. And the reason that I placed my order is the biggest thing in this bag. It was a first-time customer offer. And you know what? It absolutely snared me in. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to have a look and see what else is on there. One of the things that are quite unimaginable or unbelievable on Temu is the prices that they have some of these products for. I'm going to explain what my understanding is of that, and that's just an opinion. It's not official. I've not really researched it. Maybe I should have. Definitely feels like I've seen this on a shelf in a shop, shall we say. And the big item is something I've had my eye on for absolutely donkey's years, and I want to check if it's real. I keep doing inverted commas because I'm not insinuating that their products are fake, they're low quality. I'm not insinuating any of that, but I know that lots of us have been stung in the past. We've ordered something and it's turned up not the quality that we wanted. And I wanted to see what comes so that you can go and have a look yourself and make your own informed decision, the same way I am today. So let me grab some scissors and we'll get this open. Don't judge me using my crafting scissors again. Have to be careful because there is yarn in here and I don't want to cut anything. Trying to remember what I ordered. I should say I placed my order only on the 22nd of July. Today is, what, the 28th? And it's already here. So I'm really impressed with that. The delivery within the UK was completed by Every. I have no problem with Every as a delivery. We've got a really good delivery driver. They know me, so they just left it behind the bin for when I got back from collecting my leaflets. I feel like I'm going to be judged for what I've ordered because you can see that I've fallen for something, shall we say. I'm going to see if there's an invoice in here. If not, I'll see if I can bring it up to tell you what I've ordered. Certainly seems very well packaged. So this is the item. I'm hoping it's something I've wanted for a very long time at the most ridiculous price. So we're going to save this for a little bit. We shall see. So the first thing I opted for was this. This is not even super bulky, this is beyond. And you can see that it's on quite a large skein. I believe there's 35 meters on here from memory. I will insert the listing here for you to show you how much I paid for it and what it should be and what it is. So you can see that it's basically, so you see I've been writing left-handed, that's my fault. You can see that it's basically a foam filled fabric. Now it's in a circular shape, so there's nothing to stop us crocheting with it. What size hook you'd need, your guess is as good as mine. I'd probably say a 20mm, 25mm hook, or you can hand knit or crochet with these as well. I bought 2 because when I was reading the listing, I made a check of what was on the length, and they've said about 35 meters. So I'm estimating I'll be able to make quite a nice cozy cushion out of this. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. Overall, this looks really quite good quality. I've never worked with something like this before, so I have nothing to compare it to, but it's certainly neat and tidy. The foam is a solid tubing. I don't think I can't pull out the foam from inside, and it's stitched okay as well. What more can I say? I'm actually really excited to work with this. I'm hoping I get to swatch this up over the weekend. I'm looking at this thinking, what have I ordered? So I believe this is supposed to be some kind of chenille yarn, and it certainly does state that it's 100% polyester, but I've just spotted this little guy in the packaging. Let's get it open and have a feel. Okay, it is caked. It's not just a mess. It is a yarn cake. Can we pull the middle out? We can, very easily. So for me, I was hoping that this would be a really good substitute for maybe burnout blanket, or some of the other, so flutterby in the UK is quite common for chenille. One of the biggest complaints about most chenille yarns is, of course, that they shed. Absolutely nothing coming off of that. Should we try and tie a knot in it, because that's the next challenge? Amazing. I wasn't expecting to say that, but it is so soft. No weird smells or anything like that. I can't believe you can knot that with no shedding. Look, just to prove, I'll do another one. I'll do this then because I don't want to waste any. Zero shedding. I am literally shocked. So, I have to get my mind back on the job here. I ordered 6, it came in a pack of 6 balls or skeins, applique, which I'm going to believe is sticky. So it's got self-adhesive, or is it ironable? I don't know. No, it's sticky under there. But how cute is that little face? Looks a bit sad. But it'd be beautiful for a baby blanket, which is this yarn is going to be absolutely ideal for. I have to say, I'm really, really, really impressed. I can't believe it's not shedding at all. Another one to swatch. So something that I didn't order, that I kind of wish I had now, because it would have been a really good example of what I want to talk about. I saw a yarn that certainly looked like something that is on the shop shelf where I work. There's nothing wrong with this practice of white labeling, but what I think might be confusing to consumers, myself included, was I saw that yarn, I thought, oh, I wonder if this yarn comes from China anyway, and it's the same yarn just with the brand's name on it. I work for Hobbycraft, and I was thinking about a yarn I saw in there. It's not one of the Hobbycraft Knitcraft yarns. It was a different brand that was available in store. So I had a look at it and I thought, should I order it just to make that comparison? And I haven't. I thought I had, but there's nothing left in this bag. So I certainly didn't order it, but the colourway that I saw was incredibly close. So the reason I wanted to talk about it was because if you see something on Temu that looks like something you've seen on a shop shelf, the chances are it is very similar to what you buy in a shop. It's not guaranteed to be that thing. Often when people white label a product, they'll make some changes to it to make it their own before they put their label on. That'll be done in the same factory where the yarn is made, but it won't be identical to what you will get from Temu, for instance. I wanted to mention that because there's so many different things that look like something you've seen in a shop, and it might not be the same. For instance, that For instance, that chenille yarn I've just looked at is actually one of the best I've ever felt in my whole entire life. I didn't expect it. Very happy because I've bought a lot of it. So this last one is apparently cashmere. Now I'm going to have to look at what on earth I ordered, but it has got 6 skeins of what is apparently 100% first grade cashmere. It feels as soft as cashmere. I have some, hang on, let me check it against some other cashmere that I have. I think it's cashmere. Softer. I feel like there's something wrong with, I don't want to say wrong. I'm gonna have to look this up. I know when I did some research before on the yarn types, there was something about Chinese cashmere, but it might have been something else. So I'll look at this before I publish it. If I'm wrong, I'll delete all this out anyway. Hi, Editing Fiona here. I have refreshed my memory, should I say, and there is a possibility that some cashmere that is made in Mongolia or sourced from Mongolia, they don't have the same animal rights that we do, even though there's been a huge surge in animal rights activism in China. There is a risk that the cashmere sourced from Mongolia isn't necessarily as ethically sourced as we would be comfortable with. I have already purchased it without thinking about that, so that's my own fault. Again, just something you might want to be aware of. But you can see on the listing here that it does state that it is ethically sourced. What more can we do? Is going to be, I think it's 2-ply, and I knew that when I bought it. So it is incredibly fine. And that's exactly what I wanted. Cashmere is usually fine in weight. I mean, I don't know if this has come as a bonus, if I've ordered this incorrectly. I have no idea what this is. It's basically one strand of that. This might be 3-ply. I'm trying to see how many plies there are. I think this is 2 or 3-ply. This is definitely 1-ply. Anywho, so maybe this is the absolute perfect example of looking and understanding the sizes on Temu and trying to work out what on earth you're ordering. So before we open this last package, I'm going to share with you some of the top things to look for when ordering from Temu. And this goes for the same as if you're ordering from any yarn shop. I feel like there's a bit of a risk in over ordering as well as under ordering on Temu. You need to really be careful about the yarn weight that you are ordering. If you're not familiar with the different yarn weights, I'll pop a link in the description box below where you can find out more about the standardized sizing using ply. The reason that Temu are using the ply is because it will be shipped around the world, and the standard practice is the number of plies in the twist of the yarn is what makes it that yarn weight. So for instance, this was marked, I think, a 2 or a 3-ply, so it'd be considered fingering weight or even smaller. It's going to be a very tiny hook I need to use with this. I'll probably be able to go no higher than 2.5mm hook. So yeah, we're going to just put that to one side. And with the chenille that I bought, I would say I probably need to go up to about an 8mm hook. It's marked as a chunky weight, but most definitely I'd consider that closer to a super bulky. This thing is just for fun for me. I'm going to make a cushion. It's going to probably be done by finger crochet or arm knitting, whatever you want to call it, because there's no way on earth that working with a hook. I'm going to try a hook. I do have a 20mm hook somewhere, so I will give it a go with that most certainly, and I'm really looking forward to do it. Taking a look at the quantity and the yardage or meterage in the skeins or balls in that listing. Some listings will have 3 balls, 6 balls, 9 balls. The top tip would be, first of all, look at the weight of what's in the ball, because for instance, this probably weighs, this will be a kilo, I reckon. Yeah, definitely closer to 500 grams or a kilo, whereas this weighs 50 grams. This will have 35 meters, that's probably 300 meters, if not more. But the weight of yarn makes it go further or less, as the case may be. I would say shop with a project in mind, keep the colours that you want to use in mind. Don't waver at what they're telling you is popular. It might be they've just got a lot of it and they want to shift it. The thing that I noticed when I had another look today, because obviously I've gone to have another look and I will be placing another order, is looking at all the different types of notions. Now, if you're not familiar with the term of notions, it's basically the extra bits you need to make a pattern. So something that I had a quick look through, I'm going to share with you here. I spotted some bases for bags, some bag clasps, all at really good pricing. From what I can see, the photos look fairly similar to what I can see on Amazon, but it's going to be cheaper for me to buy it from Temu. If you can wait those extra few days for delivery, I think it's well worth it. I got free delivery on Temu as well, which is great. One thing that I found maybe a bit questionable for me personally was the sale of safety eyes. Now, I live in the UK, we have very stringent rules about toy safety, and even if I'm gifting a toy to a family friend or my niece and nephew, I always like to ensure that everything I'm using meets the UK standards. I don't sell my finished projects anymore, should I say, and I've never sold finished toys or things that could be considered toys. If you're not familiar with the regulations around selling your finished projects in the UK, they're actually really stringent, and I encourage it because there's so many different challenges when you're making toys, and the safety issues from choking hazards through to fire, flammability, the materials that are being used, from allergies, all that kind of stuff. There are reasons why those regulations are there. And yes, people will flout them. People will sell things on Facebook marketplaces. They'll gift them or they'll sell them. I've seen toys being sold in yarn shops that have been handcrafted by the shop owners. And I understand why, but just be aware there are regulations and they are there for a reason. So for me, I will only buy safety eyes through a known source that stipulates that it meets the UK regulations, the same as my polyfill. You know where this is from. I'm not telling you where it's from, but you will see at the bottom here, the reason I'm not telling you where it's from is because I have to mark this as sponsored content, and it is not sponsored. I'm not being paid for any of this, so I'm not showing you where this is from. It has these regulatory marks on here, which means that this is safe for use in toys, and it actually quotes the regulation that it conforms to. So this is why I have always used this product to stuff my amigurumis and that kind of thing. And again, polyfill is probably not, or toy stuffing is not going to be something that I would personally buy, because I need to know that it meets the regulations, it's fire retardant, it's safe to be used and chewed on, if that makes sense. Because it's just the way I am. I am not stopping anyone else, but I would just recommend that you have a look. What I saw of the photos of the safety eyes, you could see bits and stuff, and it's just not for me. But that's the only thing I would say. Just be careful about things that need regulations. So we've reached the final item. Now that's actually quite a good sign, but should I tell you what I think it is? No, let's just open it. I'm not expecting this to be branded. It actually is. Okay. Wow. Wow. So, many years ago, I wanted this machine, and it is a machine. It's been very popular all over Instagram and TikTok a number of years ago, and I never got one because I couldn't really justify the expense. They're not that expensive, and in fact, before I wanted this one. Anyway, let's show you what I got. I'm going to tell you that I think it was £4.49. So it is a Centro knitting machine, and it says it's always been marked as a toy. I really didn't think I'd be getting a branded one. I know they're made in China. The box is open. Oh no, it's not. It's just undone somewhere. And I know exactly how to use this, because before this was available, there was another version. There's another, this is obviously a recreation, shall we say, of a different knitting machine that's available, which is the Addy. I don't know what it's called anymore. I think they're known as an Addy machine. So they have a small Addy machine, and they have a 40 pin or a 38 pin. This Centro is ever so slightly larger, which means the hats that are created on it are ever so slightly bigger. I will hold my hands up. I own both the Addy, small and big, I've not used them for a long time. They're safely in my cupboard. And now I have a Centro. And I'm really hoping, my husband's away at the moment, so he won't know that I've bought this. He won't mind either, but at the same time, I will admit to you, I also have 3 knitting machines, flatbed knitting machines that I've not yet mastered. That's a big admission from me, which is why I need to have a move around and get more stuff out. So I'm incredibly excited. As I said, this was the new subscriber. Anyway, it encouraged me to download the app and shop, giving me a very special price on this. It was literally just £4 or £5, and I'm incredibly excited. They're only about £35 anyway. But for me personally, because I already had the other ones, couldn't justify the money. I will very happily share with you my experience of using this, because I absolutely love them and I find them incredibly easy to use. But yeah, you literally just thread the yarn around the needles as you turn the handle and you crank it. Well, I always known it as cranking out your hats. And even, I'm looking at it, I can remember, it all comes flooding back. So this cabling is actually created by dropping a stitch and things like that. So I'd be very happy to share more information on my experience on this. If you have one, let me know. If you have 3 now, like me, let me know. My overall experience as a consumer, just bog standard, got roped in by the special offer. I can't fault it. And I'm really impressed. Really quick delivery. What's that, 5 days? What, you can't fault that. So I would love to know, have you ordered anything from Temu already? What was your experience? And have you ever made as silly a mistake as I have? I'm going to take some time over the next week to swatch up all of these yarns. I'm hoping I'll get my cushion made as well for you so that I can share those with you. By that time, you might have placed your own order as well. Let me know what you purchase. Let me know your opinions on what I bought today, and I will see you in the next video.